Hey, this is Barb, Studio B. We are live on Monday, the 20th. Today is the first day of spring, so I wanted to do a garden sign picture. This is on a 11 by 14 canvas. I already have the background color painted on for us because I'm using a stencil-like design. So I don't know if you can see this very well, but it says be nice, and there's a flower, 2 bees, and then it says or buzz off. I thought that was really cute. So just to let you know, this fun painting will be available for some in-person parties. So if that is something your group would like to do, keep this in mind and let me know. So first off, we're going to use a simple palette, and I have my Stay Wet palette here, so we'll keep using that. But today we're going to use black, some white, and 2 yellows. We're going to keep it pretty simple. And for my brushes, I'm going to use a 1/2 inch angle brush, and then two different types of liner brushes. And I have a third one that's not quite, has a whole point there, so smaller detailed work today. So so a lot of the lettering is going to be black, and then we have our flower and the 2 bees. So I'm going to go ahead and start at the top and work down. That way I'm not crossing over if this is wet. So all right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with this little brush. And I would tell you what it is, but it looks like I have painted over what it says. So I'm going to go ahead with black, and this will be easier to see after I get this going. How are you today? The sun is shining. I'm so thankful for that. The first day of spring. What was the saying? In like a lamb, out with like a lion, or out like a in like a lion, out like a lamb. So it seems pretty mild, except it's a little windy. So that's a good way to start. So I'm getting ready to, all this week I'm going to be showing you spring paintings that will be available for your paint parties. You could do a family paint party get together, birthday parties. I get asked if I do kids' birthday parties, and I do. Have a lot of fun with the young ones. And if you live further away and would like to have an online Zoom type party, we can arrange that too, or I would be with your group via Zoom, and you would get the list of instructions, written instructions, as well as me verbally helping you out, and a list of supplies you would need. And of course, the design. So we could do that 2 different ways, where you purchase the list packet and prep your own canvases, or you could order a party in a box, which would I would prep the canvases for you, and you would receive that, and then you would just need to pick up your paint and brushes. So that's 2 fun ways you could have a party. And I am also mobile. I can bring the party to you. So many fun things. I think this was the right size brush to be doing this because it fits in these spaces, but it's not going to take me forever to do it. So I could see with this black, I might want to go over another coat just to make it a little stronger. All this week I'm going to be showing you different kind of garden-like, spring-like paintings. Fun, fun, fun. So I went to see who's all with us today. And I'm trying to look on my laptop to see who's on. I see two of you. I'm not able to see who, but thank you for joining. I'm getting out several fun things this spring to working on getting things lined up too, and I'll be offering you parties at different locations. So so when it's time, I will let you know what those details are. So what is your favorite flower? What's the favorite flower you're thinking of with spring? I know the trees are starting to bud. My allergies surely notice it. Years ago, I lived in Georgia for a short time, and that was my first experience of seeing the cherry blossom trees. That was quite impressive to me. I'd never driven a car under these huge trees that were just totally pink. It was pretty cool. All right, now you can see that. Be nice. How cute is that? So this background is blue, a dark brown called burnt umber, and just a touch of white. So it's a pretty simple background, but the blue and the yellow complement each other. So I knew that adding some yellow on top of this blue would be really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do this lettering. I'm doing what I said I wasn't going to do, but I think it'll work out. I love these script type lettering. I know lettering takes practice, or a good stencil. I have some fun things that I'll be doing with stencils in about a week. Probably next week I'll be able to show that to you. So we can have a stencil party on canvas or even on some wood projects. So you could plan how you're going to decorate your outdoor living space. They used to just call it a patio, but now it's an outdoor living space. The outdoor living room. In our front yard we have, I noticed, I think we have 3 tulips that come in every year since we moved to this house, and they're right along the edge of the house near the foundation, so that area I think stays a little bit warmer. Anyway, I noticed the green was starting to come up, starting to show. It's kind of fun to have surprise tulips every year. Alright, the nice thing with this, having the background done, once you get this on, you don't have to go in or paint around the lettering. That would be kind of tricky. So this one I definitely recommend doing the background first and then letting it dry really well, and then you can use a stencil or traceable. I've been learning a little more about bee farming, beekeepers. It's pretty popular right now. And the little chicks. We went to one of the farm stores yesterday just to see if they had any. Looked like they were ready for the next shipment to come in. I did not grow up with chickens. Maybe you have. Maybe you know the fun facts about having some hens on your little homestead, backyard homestead, backyard farming. I know you need to have a little hen house with the nesting boxes. And I know that I've seen that they have the little doors to empty the nesting boxes in the morning, see what kind of eggs they've laid, and you close them up in their hen house at night to keep them protected. Alright, there's that. So any of you that are technical, maybe you can help me out. So I'm filming this from my phone, the camera from my phone, so that works out really well. But I'm not able to see any comments, so I will look at comments later on. But I guess I need to find out technicalities about how I can see the feed or the comments. I guess that would be on my laptop. I am learning the technical stuff as I go here. I'm pretty envious of the people that just get it. Maybe they don't just get it, they just make themselves learn it, but sometimes being a creative, we at least mentally say, I don't understand tech, and I was listening to a podcast. I had to run an errand this morning, and the lady was talking about confidence, and she said something interesting like, I don't like to get up in front of a group and talk, but I love teaching paint parties and talking to a group that way. But I know the first time I did it, even though I knew the people in the room, my voice was so shaky. But I made it through it. But anyway, she was talking about confidence, and you'll gain confidence by doing things scared. I really liked how she said that. You won't just wake up and be confident. You have to practice learning to do stuff scared, and then the confidence will just come as you learn and you grow. I thought that is a good thing to think about. Because how many of us want to try something, but think, but I just don't think I'll be any good at it. Well, you won't find out unless you give it a try. I think that's when our kids are young. My kids are older now. But trying new things, we do that pretty early with our kids, don't we? We take them to sign them up for soccer and basketball and flag football when they're younger, and then older, the regular football. And swimming lessons, learning to be confident, or some kids are just natural at learning to swim. Alright, just getting a little bit. Okay, that's good for now. I'll go and touch that up when we're done with the flowers. So now I'm going to use this angle brush, and start putting in some yellow on our flowers. And this is the, but now I see that's really gonna be transparent. Okay, need to back up. I'm gonna go ahead and fill these in with some white because I do want these to pop. And white will help the yellow for sure. So my center is going to be dark black with some lighter colors on top. So I'm going to do the white first and then the yellow, and then I can cover up these edges with the black. But I think that's, I was back to the confidence thing. I think with our kids, we want them to try things and find out early, yeah, I can do that. I have to go sign up, learn, do what coach says, practice, practice, practice. That helps build up self-confidence for things later in life too. I think a lot of people our age, when you're adults, when your kids move out of the house, you have a little more time, and that's a lot of times that's when people decide they want to try something new for themselves. They've been driving their kids to here and there, and now they don't have to do that. So it might be like a cooking class, quilting class, pottery, baking, or maybe you decide to take up running or walking. Walking's good. Hiking. All right, so that's gonna let that white dry just a little bit, and then we'll go over and put our yellow on. So while we're waiting on those things, I'm gonna work on our bees. So the bees' wings were white, and then they had these, the design with the black. So let's see, I'm just gonna kind of fill this in. And then I'm gonna use I might use a painting marker to put the tiny black lines in. That might work better than a brush because they are pretty thin. I was imagining these wings looking kind of paper thin or tissue paper thin for the white, so that maybe the dark in the background would kind of show through a little bit. So a week ago, when I first started these lives every day, I was a little nervous, not gonna lie, but this week I feel a little more confident. So I think what that podcast was saying was to do things scared. It's helping me out. What's something you want to try, but you haven't quite got the whole plan down? Or sometimes if you tell someone, say maybe your spouse or a good friend, or even maybe a sister or brother, have an accountability person that you say, hey, I'm going to try this. Would you be my accountability partner and see if I've actually done it? All right, let's see. So I think these lines here, they're going to be yellow. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put some white there though. Do like we did with the flowers. So that yellow will pop a little more. And these here are going to be white for the eyes. Well, it's starting to look like something. All right, let's come back and start putting in this yellow. Yellows can be one of those that you have to go over more than once. It depends on the effect you're trying to get. And I chose yellow because there's also yellow with the bees, so. But you could have whatever color flower you want. You could do a purple one, pink, red, however much color you want. I'm looking for a group that would like to do a Mother's Day weekend. Oh wait. Or the week leading up to Mother's Day. I'm looking for a group that would like to do a party. It would be the Friday before, actually. I know that's kind of tricky because there are graduations that will be going on during that time. But if you have a group of ladies that would like to get together, or mother-daughter time, let me know. I'm ready to book something. Ready to add to the schedule. So this area here, that doesn't want to accept the paint very well. I'm going to put some white down, let it dry, and then go back over that spot. All right. So next, this center is going to be black, and then I'm going to put some light colors over. So I'm going to come over to the edge, just going to fill it in to start, and then sometimes with a sign you want to keep the details simple and clean. Alright, let's let that dry a little bit. Alright, now I'm going to come in and work on the black on our little bees. I'm going to do this one first. I see I missed a spot where I want yellow, some white right here. And I'll come back in with the color. So there's two little thin legs right here in front, but I'm not going to use this brush for that area. This one wouldn't be quite small enough. Now I need to put two legs on this side. All right. This is going pretty quickly. This is good. We would be really just still letting the background dry if I hadn't had that ready, huh? All right. So I'm going to try this other yellow for the bees. It's kind of fluorescent, so let's see if we like it. I think that's okay because we don't want them to be exactly the same. Well, that's going in pretty good. Okay, now there it is. So in our sign, I'm going to add some highlight. I'm going to put the blue in so it looks like, just to give it let it look like it goes, that we can see the background. I saw Megan said that sunflowers are one of her favorite flowers. I think a lot of people just really enjoy the sunflowers. There's just something happy about them. I'm going to fill this one in with the black before I put the line in. right, that looks pretty good. Now I put the blue in. I'm going to come in and do these petals a little more. Now with these petals, I'm going to add a little more detail to them. And if you wanted to, you could even do the outline each one with black if you wanted to. I'm going to have to let that spot dry and go back over it. I can just tell that right now. It's not going to cooperate. You kind of come in and define each one. Which for a sign, that's how it should probably be. Little detail, just bring it all together. This Saturday, just a reminder, I'm having a Paint Your Pet Saturday. If that's something you would like to do, there's still time to get your picture to me. It's in person here in Newton. So what you do is you either text me or send it in Messenger, a picture of your pet from just the head, shoulder, front view. You can do a side view too. Some people have done that. Those turn out pretty cute as well. And then I get the canvas ready for you, and then when you get here, you just paint the background a fun color, and then you go ahead and paint your pet. It's a lot of fun. We keep it simple, keep it light, have some music going, get to visit with your friends, or if you don't have to bring anybody with you, you could come by yourself, that is fine. Meet some new people while you're here. And you could bring your own refreshment, your soda or tea or water. I have a little oops right here. I'm going to see if I can lift that off. If it's still wet, you rinse your brush out and then tap it on your towel or cloth, and then you try to just brush over it and then you can lift off the little oops there. All right, so that I will fix later when I'm not on the live anymore, but let's see. $12.41. That's pretty good for this project because it is a little bit more to it. A little bit more to it. All right. So I don't know if you can see there. There's the little line of the bees. That invisible line that they put in to say, yep, this thing is buzzing around. I'm going to use a paint marker pen. Whoops, did not expect that to happen. All right. That's a little damp right there. I'll let that dry as well. But it's like these little, almost like stitching line. All right, now we got to do the tiny lines in. Make sure that's dry. All right, this is a little waterproof marker. It's got a very fine tip. It's a 0.1 tip black marker. And I'm just going to suggest the tiny web-like cells. And I could even do an outline of it here. That feels right. Get the tiny legs that are really tiny, and the little antennas line here. Tell I've had a little bit too much caffeine. So you could get pretty detailed with these little, I don't know what you call them, cells, are almost like skin, paper thin skin cells of the little wings here. There is probably a good scientific technical name. I'm going to go ahead and outline where the eyes go. All right, now let's put some fun dots. I'm going to use the back end of this brush I'm going to use some white. Since we just have that little bit of white, I think this would help. And see, with doing this technique, you get these nice round little circles. I don't want them to be all exactly the same size. I like a little bit of variation. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. So you could get more technical here and have more of a little border there, but I think we're going to call that good. I'll do these touch-ups when we're not live. So about these etching, you could leave it like it is, or do a little border. So. But for now, I'm going to call that good. Thank you for joining me. See you tomorrow.